Hello everybody, so in today's video I'm gonna show you the top 4 best Minecraft performance mods in 2025. So let's get started with the first one. And for the first one we will have Vulkan mod. And I will have links in the description to all of these platforms as well as tutorials on actually how to download them. But basically, it uses Fabric, and to add Vulkan mod, you need to go to your installations tab, you need to go to your folder icon, and you need to go and find mods, of course, after you have Fabric, and you will have Vulkan mod like so. Now, Vulkan mod is quite interesting, and we can go ahead and try it out. So it is in the .minecraft mods folder, you want to have Fabric here, and you want to click play. And basically Vulkan mod really changes how the game renders. It basically just uses Vulkan to actually run Minecraft, and it does help with FPS, so we will be able to see this in action. So here we have our Minecraft just like before, and if we go to a tutorial world, which is where I was in the beginning, we should see that we have normal Minecraft. But if we go ahead and go on F3 and we go here, we can see that we are using Vulkan to run Minecraft. And yeah, it gives a good amount of FPS, hovers around 1000, so yeah, pretty cool. And that's Vulkan mod for you. So it is always a good idea to try out these different mods to see which one works the best for you. So yeah, that will be Vulkan mod. I will have this in the description if you want it. And we now need to go to the second one, which is Sodium. And just like before, we need to use the Fabric loader to use Sodium, and Sodium comes in its own little mod package, so you need to hover over Fabric loader, go to the folder icon, go to the mods folder, here we have Sodium. All you want to do is copy it and paste it to the mods folder, just like Vulkan mod. And if we go to our Fabric loader here and click play just like before, we will be able to try out Sodium. So it is basically the build the same idea, but instead of actually the rendering engine, this is more CPU based. So if we go ahead and go to our tutorial world, like so, here we have Minecraft loading, here it is, and we're now running on Sodium. So we can do the same thing we did before with the F3, and we can see that the FPS is a bit of the same, maybe a bit lower, but it really doesn't really matter if you have more than like the display's FPS. But yeah, Sodium is a bit lower FPS than Vulkan mod, but it does have like something that you can change to make the FPS better. So here the FPS has rendered, but for Vulkan mod, I believe it's just higher overall. There's less changes in FPS like we're seeing here. So what we can do with Sodium is quite simple. We can go ahead and go to the settings, and this is these type of settings which what we use to really help with FPS. Here we can see that if you hover over these, we have a lot of different highs, lows, mediums, and changing this will affect how the game renders as well. And there is a mod called Sodium Extra, which gives you even more options to change. But Sodium really helps with FPS. So yeah, here we have Vulkan mod and Sodium. Sodium stabilizes a bit like Vulkan mod, but Vulkan mod just goes a bit quicker to that 1000 FPS number. So yeah, and of course I do have a disclaimer, you might not have 1000 FPS if you can't physically have 1000 FPS with your hardware, but it will be higher than just using the default Minecraft. So yeah, so that would be Sodium for you. And we're now going to the rest of the launchers, which are really interesting because we can now use shaders with the next one. So let's get started. So we now have another one, which is Optifine, so the classic, and we'll be using Forge to run Optifine. And with Optifine, we can have better performance on lower end devices in this case, and also run shaders. So For example, if we go ahead and go to our installations, we want to hover over Forge and go to the folder icon, we can see that we should have a mods folder. Here we have an empty mods folder, we just copy in Optifine, and in the .minecraft mods folder, we have Optifine. So we just go back to the Minecraft launcher here, we have Forge, and we can click play. And the performance will be quite interesting with Optifine, so let me show you this in a couple bit. So, what you want to do is simply go ahead and go back to your world, and we can try out Optifine. And here we have Optifine, and we can test out Optifine here by just doing F3, and we can see that our performance is definitely lower than Sodium and Vulkan. Now, this is because Sodium and Vulkan is better for higher end devices, and Optifine is okay on lower end devices to actually increase performance. But we can see that we have Optifine running using Forge, and we can see this because if we go ahead and go to our video settings, we have the Optifine settings, and we can go ahead and change some things about Optifine, which is always good. So yeah, that is Optifine. And we're now gonna go to the final one. And for the final Minecraft performance mod, we have Iris. And this one is interesting because it is Iris and Sodium, so we are technically using only Sodium, but it does give you shader support, which I will be showing you for this one. So it comes in a little installer like this, so there's no mod to actually add, but if we just go and play, we will have the possibility to use Sodium, so just like before, but this one is for shaders as well. So it's always good to go ahead and check that one out. Okay, so once we have Minecraft here, we can go ahead and see that if we go to a single player world, and once we are in the world, we can test out the FPS. It's pretty good, it's around the 1000 mark again, a bit like before because it is just Sodium, but we can use shaders. And the reason for this is because Iris, so right here, is meant to be a Optifine alternative for Fabric. As Optifine only works on Forge, we have Forge for Optifine and Fabric is for Iris here, so yeah. And what we can do is simply go ahead and go to video settings. So here we have the same things as before for Sodium, but we now have a shader packs folder. So we can go to open shader packs, we have an empty folder, we can go to our downloads, called PBSL, and go to the previous tab and have .minecraft shader packs here or BSL. Well, or any shader, I'll just use BSL, it's a classic shader. And here we have BSL, so we just activate that, and we now have shaders for Minecraft as well as Sodium running. So yeah, so it will definitely tank your FPS because it's shaders, but Sodium will be running as well, so that's always pretty good. So yeah, that's kind of what we have when it comes to performance mods. Now we do have performance mod packs, which is a bit different, but when it comes to the actual mods, that's kind of the big ones we have. So yeah, if you like today's video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you for the next one. Bye!